Thank you.
Kudos to Jessica Calderon. She was the first person in the room. She's been in the room for about 15 minutes. Congratulations. The early bird always gets the one.
Jeremy Dennis. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Jeremy.
Jeremy Dennis, Festus, Missouri.
Hey, welcome to the call, Jeremy. We got an Ed Ayala sighting in the building.
Hey, Sam from the Dominican Republic. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, everybody's fantastic, bro. Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Awesome.
All right. Who else do we have? State your name.
Jimmy Howe, Denver, Colorado.
Hey, Jimmy, welcome to the call.
All right, good to see you again, Ed.
Let's see here.
Good evening, Sam. Dennis from Baltimore, Maryland.
Dennis, hey, welcome to the call. I owe you a phone call, Dennis.
Thanks for remembering. Man, I was doing some work early today in the Panera Bread. I'm only leaving right now, man. When you just get into it, you can't stop.
You're grounded. You're grounded. Well, when you got something good on your hands, you got something good on your hands.
Yeah. Family's beginning to miss me.
All right. Sabrina is on the Texas. Hey.
From H-Town.
That's what I'm talking about. We got one of our key speakers as well. I see Mr. Pete Abraham is in the building. Let's see what we have here.
Okay.
Ms. Lisa Calderon is in the building. Welcome, Lisa. Sarah George out of Maryland. Welcome, Sarah. Kelvin Benjamin is in the building. Welcome. Ignacio.
Thank you,
Iggy, you're welcome. You're welcome. Iggy is in the building. Welcome, Iggy. Welcome, Jason. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's coming in. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be getting started in just a second, guys. Go ahead and let your team know and let all your prospects know that we'll be getting started in just a moment. And so we'll just take a couple more rounds of introductions and we'll be on our way. All right. Let's see here. Anna Lee, welcome. Let's see here. Kofi Brown out of Houston, Texas, welcome.
What it do, sir? How you doing?
What's popping? As you
That's
like to
what's up. What's popping? What's popping?
Let's see here. Fabian is on the line. Welcome, Fabian.
What's going on, Mr. Bean? How are you, my friend?
Man, fantastic, bro. Fantastic. Let's see here. Gotta get out to Chicago, man. Gotta get out to Chicago, man.
I'm waiting for you, brother, whenever you're ready.
All right. We're gonna talk about that.
For sure.
Hey, you guys got to get to Los Angeles first in a couple of weeks.
that's already on the books. That's already on the books.
We on the way. We on the way. Plane tickets, rooms,
right.
Everything. We on the way.
That's right.
All right. Chris is in the building. Welcome, Chris. Yeah, Chris Dominguez and Chris iPad. Chris iPad just look like some coffee. I don't want to call out what's up, but I'll call it coffee. How about that? Let's see here.
Yes, right. Sir. Thank you. Thank you for hosting us today, Mr. Samuel Bean. It's Chris from Long Beach.
That's what I'm talking about. And we'll be flying into your airport, sir, very, very soon. All right. Let's see here. Who else we have here? James Howard's in the building. Welcome. Let's see here. Let's say Hugh. Hewis. Is that Hewis? I know Jean or Jean is in the building. I can say that part. All right. Welcome. Let's see. David Leggett is in the building. Welcome. All right. Jarek, welcome to the call. Welcome. Let's see. Candy McDonald out of Houston. Brad G, welcome. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's filing in now. Let's see here.
Great evening, Laura from South Carolina.
Laura, welcome. Well, the co-hosts are on their job today, boy. I'm talking about letting everybody in. I don't have a chance to click on nothing today.
Margaret from Maryland.
Hey, welcome to the call.
Idris, Brooklyn, New York.
Mr. Locker, welcome to the call.
Recording in progress.
Good evening, Jared checking in from Houston, Texas.
Jared, welcome to the call.
Keith Cancel from Boston.
Hey, Keith. Welcome to the call.
Angel Trent, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Angel. Welcome to the call.
Johnny Montes, Hawaiian Gardens, Southern California.
Mr. Montes, welcome to the call.
This is Brad G in Illinois.
Brad, welcome to the call. We fired up. That's what I'm talking about. Dr. Arlene George, welcome to the call.
Gabby Tober, Orlando, Florida.
Hey, Gabby, welcome to the call.
Francis, New York. Arlene George, Maryland.
Miss George.
Calvin from California.
Who's that from Cali? Calvin from California. Just long time no talk to, Calvin.
Yes,
Keith
sir.
Williams out of New York City.
Keith, welcome to the call.
Francis, New York City.
Francis, welcome to the call.
JC, Los Angeles, Rango.
Who's that? Luis Rangel? Luis Rangel? I heard some Rangels. I know it's a couple of y'all. The Rangels
I think it was me. I don't know if my brother's on, but
okay,
probably is.
You need no introduction, Mr. Rangel. You know what I'm saying? Well, but welcome to the call. We appreciate having you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, guys, this is what I want to make sure my there we go. I see that handsome smile. He ready. So y'all get ready because the gentleman I'm about to actually introduce you guys to, again, is a person who I really do have a lot of respect for. And when I say a consummate professional, this was actually the individual who got my attention initially about the company that you guys are going to hear about today. First person I sat down and had a business conversation with as it pertains to this company, BYLD. And he did it in a manner where it made sense. He did it in a manner where I could see a 7-figure situation for myself. And not only did he do that, he made sure that he put me on the line with everybody he can get his hands on, from JC Rangel, to everybody else, and made sure that I saw it before I said yes or no. And I ended up saying yes. And I have, again, a lot, that I want to share about this guy. But again, for me to be able to put my family in a situation where they never have to worry about money again as long as they live, he'll always have a part of that. And so what I want to do is introduce you guys to one of the company's mentors and one of my senior partners, but also one of my good friends, Mr. Hans Pettit, homie.
Mr. Bean, appreciate it. I love to see smiling faces on a Thursday afternoon. If you guys know me, it's Thankful Thursdays, right? So we got to be thankful for every single opportunity, and this is no different, man. I'm humbled to say the least, and again, we're gonna have some fun. So, right? So just get off the stressful days that we live in today and just relax. So I want to share some information with you that I personally saw less than a couple of months ago. And quick background, because it's always important to know who's speaking and who's sharing information, right? What gives me the opportunity to speak? Well, my background is finance and banking. I'm a New Yorker, so you're going to hear my accent. So and I'm also Haitian, so you're definitely going to hear my accent, right? But I always wanted to be secure financially, always. So I dived into what I knew, which was the financial services world. Background, financial advisor, private banking, commercial banking, business banking. And I've had the fortunate opportunity to sit across the table with some phenomenal individuals, of whom taught me a lot more than I taught them, right, about the finance space. And these individuals put me in a position to learn, right, And what I learned took me far. I was able to open up some franchises in New York City. We did very well. And the funny thing is, when I was 18, I was tapped on the shoulder to look at, for the first time, the industry of network marketing. And when you're from Brooklyn, like I am, and somebody tap you on the shoulder, it's like, what's good? What's happening, right? But that tap changed my life financially. It changed the mindset I have. But it also brought in a different perspective in life, one that's open to information. So if you're a guest today, I encourage you just to be open, right? We live currently in a one of the worst financial situations we could possibly be in. If you're looking at inflation, if you're struggling, every single one is looking for opportunities. Every single person is looking for ways to take care of themselves and their families. And tonight, you're going to get the opportunity to listen in from what's the largest wealth transfer that we've ever come across. And our generation will never come across such information. So we're gonna dive right into this information because it's all about the information, not me. So I'm gonna share my screen. And for those in the chat, for those whose bright smiles, you know, give me a thumbs up if you can actually see my screen while I'm sharing. Yes, thumbs up. We good? All right, excellent, man. So we're gonna talk about BYLD network. BYLD network. We're gonna build your mindset. We're gonna build your business. We're gonna build your net worth. That's important because there's gonna be a shift that's gonna occur over the next, you know, couple of minutes while myself and Mr. B talk. First, you gotta understand the mindset. Okay, then we're gonna understand the business side and of course the net worth of what we do and BYLD network. Who we are, we're pretty much a network that provides high-ticket brokerage system. There's 4 verticals we play in. 4 verticals, which are the 4th largest ways, which most lucrative ways to make business, to make money from home. Okay, huge income potential from all 4. Now, why build a business? Right? We've heard it time and time again about building a business. One, no one is coming to save you. Right? And if you look at the last couple of years, a shift happened in business. COVID came in and disrupted the economy. It forced, ladies and gentlemen, people to become smarter and be innovative. More entrepreneurs has popped up in the scene over the last 4 years than centuries have. In the same instance, more individuals have created multi-million dollars for themselves. So entrepreneurship is a must. It used to be, let me think about it, let me build a little hobby to create income. This hobby is now a part-time business where you and your family can reap serious rewards and benefit. Okay? The current financial situation, we are in an election year, right? Let's take note, right? Any given moment, a single policy can change and disrupt what we know is our financial environment and peace. Inflation, higher taxes, recession, right? Most individuals got really comfortable working from home, but a lot of the corporations are asking people to come back to work. Well, if you build, you know, time at home, you enjoy family, less commute, less stress, imagine having to go back to the 9-to-5 grunt work. Most individuals are looking for work from home opportunities. This is one of the best ones you're going to come across. We currently live in a stage of a gig economy. What's that? Individuals have figured out in order to provide for themselves and their families, they have to start thinking outside the box. Uber is a prime example, right? Some individuals are driving Uber part-time to bring in additional revenue. Some to the extent where they do it so much that it's become a full-time job, right? Because they love the flexibility, they love the convenience, right? Etsy, Airbnb, Shopify. We have teenagers who's creating millions of dollars online social media. People are looking up how to start a business, which is more than 60% of daily searches now. So we live in an economy where the average individual is saying, you know what, enough is enough. We need financial independence. And they realize that they have to go out there and what? Start a business, ladies and gentlemen. So when you're Googling business opportunities, here's what you want to focus on. It's going to be very simple. You want to focus on the industries with a big target market. Okay? I tell my clients all the time, stop playing small, right? You want to look at the global picture. And you also want to look at low market penetration. What's the opportunity? You want to look at essential goods and services. In a down economy or a good economy, people will always need what? Gas, electricity, and water, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Hint, hint. And you also want to look at industries that are thriving in any economy. Okay? Huge, huge. So let's look at our services. As I mentioned before, there's 4 verticals we play in, right? 4 opportunities. So if you're thinking about any business, you always want to have what? Verticals. Multiple streams to bring in revenue for your company. Encore Solar is our solar division. ADT Brinks Home Security is our residential and commercial division. Okay, we recently launched a phenomenal water system, whole house water filtration system, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I've had one in my home for the last 3 years, and it's phenomenal. But to be able to participate, be positioned to take a piece of that pie when people need clean drinking water, that's huge. And one of my favorites, the Smart Money Club, right? We're taught all the time, you want to make money, you want to preserve it, and you want to grow it. The Smart Money Club, for those who don't know, and we'll share some bits and pieces of that later, is financial blueprint. It's a must-have. It's knowledge from industry experts with years of experience that's teaching you game in the financial side. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Let's first talk solar. If you had asked me about solar a couple of years ago, I said, I don't know. I knew nothing about it, right? I'm not an early adapter on anything. In fact, this week, if you guys follow me on social media, right, I can finally convert over my iPhone 8, right? But a year ago, when I started really doing my research and having the right people around me, similar to the individual who invited you on the call today, solar is huge, ladies and gentlemen, right? Why get involved in the solar industry, right? Let's take a look at it. It's all about the size and the timing of the opportunity. Over 130 million homes in the United States. More and more are being developed every single day. 90 million are eligible for solar. Approximately 5 million have gone solar. Think about it. 90 million homes are eligible. 5 million have gone. What does that scream? Opportunity. 85 million homes, ladies and gentlemen, are eligible
85 left.
currently for Go Solar. Okay, here's a fun fact. Okay, in 2022, someone went solar every 44 seconds. Now you might ask yourself, Hans, I don't know much about solar, but why are consumers going solar? Number one on the list is savings. Think about it. I have conversations with people every single day. If you can save $1 on a bill you got to pay every single day, every single month for the rest of your life, would you do it? Absolutely. So for us, ladies and gentlemen, we educate the homeowners on the benefit of solar. Okay, we educate. Because the homeowner today is going to be paying the electric bill for life. And every single year, these utility companies are increasing charges, increasing fees, right? Inflation is taking into effect. Imagine locking in your electricity rates at a lower cost. Huge savings, up to 50% of the energy cost for the homeowners. Some individuals saving $2,000, $3,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen. Funds they can now allocate elsewhere in the household. Here's some more good news about going solar. Zero down. You heard me correctly. Zero out of pocket with various options when you go solar. Blackout protection, right? Peace and blessings to our brothers and sisters in Florida. They're going through a storm. If the storm knocks out power lines, now you're talking about days and days and days without power. We have the opportunity to offer blackout protection because once the storm clears, the sun's going to come out and the sun's going to power the panels in the system and provide power back to the homeowners. The federal government provided 30%, up to 30% federal tax credit. Most states have additional incentives to go solar. So what am I saying? It's a must consumers go solar. The savings alone is a huge win-win. But for us who's on this call today, who sees an opportunity, imagine saving homeowners thousands of dollars per year and you get a chance to be financially free doing so. That's an opportunity. What's so special about us? A lot. We partner with the #1 installer in the country, Freedom Forever. We use W-2 employees. Nothing against contractors, but everything is done in-house. All right? Everything is done in-house. From the project managers to the design to the engineering to the installation and the site survey. So for you on the call who's never had a business or who had a business before, you have a whole team working on your behalf. Think about buying a $100,000 franchise, and when you see the investment, you'll be shell-shocked. Okay? We provide the only guaranteed 25-year power in the industry. Okay? Production is huge. We use top-tier systems for all of our clients. Take a look at this page. When I first seen this, after the first couple of slides, all I screamed was opportunity. All right, so if you ever come across me in the streets, I'm looking up. I'm looking at the rooftops. I'm looking at every single home in my community who does not have solar. And when Mr. Beam goes over the income, you'll start counting dollars for every time you see a property. We have some individuals who's flying from coast to coast and they look out the window in the airplane, they snapping roofs, right? That's opportunities, and gentlemen. That's the industry we play in. Some testimonials for some of our clients. Here's a home in California. Went from paying $287 a month before solar. One of our experts gave them a proposal and dropped their monthly bill to $148. Another example in Florida, went from paying $410 a month before solar. Now they're at $290 a month after solar. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, we're not selling anything. We're educating consumers on the benefit of going solar. And as you'll find out later on, their savings, okay, equals huge income opportunity for you. Because energy costs is only increasing year after year. In my own state here in Maryland, we increased 8%. In fact, the utility company is in talks with the state to add an additional 8% come next year. Inflation is at an all-time high, right? If you look at your bill today and look at it 10 years ago, totally different. But when you get a chance to lock in electricity for your friends and family for their life, no money down, they receive tax credits and savings, that's a huge win-win. Huge win-win, okay? One of the greatest minds in business said this, and I'm gonna end it here. Energy deregulation will be the largest transfer of wealth in history. For some of you who's old enough to remember when they first switched our meters, no one knew what they were doing. Well, now we do. They were preparing us for solar. Okay? So I'm going to pause. I'm going to bring up somebody who'll talk about the money. As this gentleman mentioned before, we knew of each other, but we never knew each other when it came to the business and the industry. I've had the pleasure of knowing him personally over the last couple of months, and we gelled. But what I love more is his passion for people. So if you're going to go into business, rule number one on my list, care for the people more than you care for yourself. Think about that, right? So he's not only is he a leader in the industry, but he came into this business and he's trailblazing it. And it's not just him, right? It's his team who's winning. That's the culture we built over the last couple of months. And for some of you on the call, it's the first time. This won't be the last time you hear us say, let's build. So to talk about the money, I want to bring up the money man himself, Mr. Sam Beam. Go ahead, mister.
Man, look, you could have kept on going, honestly. I was over there taking some notes, and I'm just thinking that by the time we finish this presentation, 78 people will have went solar in the U.S. 78 people will, by the time we had this 45-minute conversation, 78 people would have went solar. That's crazy. But that's also a trend that people have to get in front of, So at the end of the day, I appreciate what you just did. You shared a bunch of nuggets. Again, love listening to you. Learn something every time I hear any of the speakers speak. But man, I'm just, guys, now you see why I had to make the decision to go ahead and take a real deep dive into this company, because it just makes sense. Okay. So if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And so when you talk about dollars, there's nobody better to represent dollars than Warren Buffett. You heard the quote, but this is a man that stood on his quote and invested $10 billion in the clean energy space, right? And so I'm just telling you, one thing about business that I do understand, and I appreciate him for this quote other quote he had. And he talked about people who believe that they're going to get rich on their passions. And he reminded the world years ago, he said, nobody cares about your passions and your hobbies. He said, get rich on what people want and what people need, right? And then you're going to live the rest of your life, passionate, enjoying your hobbies, right? And so Warren Buffett, again, he's the GOAT when it comes to investing. And, I just take advice from people who I would trade places with financially. And so he's one of those guys. Okay. And just to know that Elon Musk and the government, everybody just pushing this movement, that just puts me in a position of power. And so all I have to do is jump on and ride the wave like everybody else, right? And so, guys, you really are in a position where you can say you heard it first, but you won't be first until you take full advantage of it. Okay. And so 7 ways we get paid, that's again a lot. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna talk about, let me see here. I don't know why this is showing up. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I have the right slides show up here. Let's see here.
If you want, I can control it for you.
That's all right. We're good to go.
Good.
I'm almost there. I'm about to jump on it now. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. I want to make sure you guys get the right information. And that's just a sign. Anytime you get ready to do something amazing, you're going to be confronted by violent opposition. So that's all right. So like I said, 7 ways we get paid, guys. We're not going to go over all 7. But I want to share with you this process, because like Hans says, his background is in money, period. Okay. And my wife and I, we've been blessed to have a measurable level of success and put ourselves in a position where we make millions of dollars in 3 different industries. And when I saw this through his eyes, through the eyes of J.C. Rangel and the other owners of the company, when I sat down with them, I saw a bona fide 7-figure situation, not just for myself, but for many people. And one of the things that I did see was an opportunity where people can come in and be themselves. You can come in here and you can do exactly what you want to do, exactly the way you want to do it. If you don't want to recruit, you don't have to. Right? This is a situation where a person can make a really good, solid 4 or 5-figure monthly income, okay, part-time without recruiting. A 6-figure annual income part-time without recruiting, right? And so when you look at that, that says a whole lot about where we are, guys. When you talk about the gigs that that Mr. Hans was talking about earlier, a lot of those gigs you can't get rich on. A lot of those gigs you can't make 6 figures a year on, right? And for a person who has a part-time job, right, 30 hours a week, $1,500 to $2,500 a month, when you have people who I'm about to show you in one deal, they're making $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 per deal, right? And so you got to work smarter, not harder, right? And so when you look at this situation, guys, the company is extremely, extremely generous. Right? And when you look at what most other companies would do, you would normally earn anywhere from probably 40 to 50%, on the commissions, and still have to actually split it. Some even less than that. This company pays out 70% to the people who actually get the deal into the house, and then the person who, like he says, the expert.
Hey, Mr. B, you're not sharing the screen.
It's not? Okay. I'm sorry about that. I thought I was back up. I'm over here talking. Let's see here.
It just means that you know it by heart, Mr. Bean. That's all.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. Let's see here. Can you see it now?
You're talking about personal sales right
Crystal
now.
clear now.
There we go. So now we talked about, now we're on the personal sales. Okay. And so, like I said, the company's extremely generous. They pay 70% when other companies pay anywhere from 30 to 50%. Right. And so when you look at this profit of $10,000, we're just using this as a standard round number. Okay. And so you'll have a lot of people who make more than $10,000 on their deal, not even splitting it. So I just want to use this as a nice round number that we can use throughout the whole entire financial slide. Okay. So $10,000, 70% of that is $7,000, right? And half of that goes to the person who originates the deal, right? And that person only has to do 3 things, guys. When we say part-time, we really mean part-time. And this is what part-time is for us, right? When you talk to someone, first thing you got to do is pique their interest. Obviously, talk about soul a little bit, give them some benefits, okay? Number 2, you want to get the bill. Number 3, submit the bill and set the appointment with the expert, okay? That's your job. That's your only job, right? Keep it really, really simple. Don't have to explain anything. No presentations needed. All you have to do is hand it off, okay? And the person who you're handing it off to is what we call a mentor. And we call that individual a mentor because that individual is going to be the one that designs the layout, via AI on what it's going to look like on their roof. they're going to do a mini presentation, 5, maybe 10 minutes, explaining solar, and how it functions in their home, right? How they benefit from it. Also, they're going to go over the financing. They're going to go over, the tax credit. They're going to go over everything they need to go through to make sure that the customer can make an educated decision, right, for themselves. And you'll be sitting there saying nothing. You'll be sitting there being mentored. You'll be sitting there taking notes while you watch this person bring that person to a buying decision, okay? And so that's why we call them mentors, because they're teaching you and you're learning while you're earning, right? And once a person does 3 deals with a mentor, guys, guess what? Now you're in a position where we report that to the company, and now all you have to do is do 5 more on your own. You bring those 5 to the table, you do 5 on your own, and guess what happens? Now we actually report that as well. You complete a company certification. Once you do that, we put your name in lights. Your name goes into a drop-down box. When they click on it, anybody in the U.S. who's selling solar in one of the states that we function in, they can choose your name, right? So now you have the ability to not just bring a deal to the table and close it yourself. You also have the ability to close deals for everybody in the company if they're choosing you. So it's one of the most admired positions in the company, right? We actually have a gentleman by the name of Jabari Sadler who in the month of April did 28 deals, over 6 figures, right, in 1 month. And those were mentor deals. Those deals were brought to him. And as it it hasn't slowed up. Being in a mentorship position is a very, very powerful position. And keep in mind, the mentorship position is still on your own terms without recruiting, right? You only recruit if you want to. But let's say you have 4 people who want to be a mentor, and that person, those 4 people bring in 3 people as well. Now, those 12 sales, per month at an average of $3,500 per commission split is $42,000 in commissions. Okay. Now, that's $500,000 a year, guys, on a part-time basis. So when you look at opportunities out there, guys, there are a lot of opportunities out there that you can take full advantage of. Most of us just don't know how to recognize them when we're presented with them. Okay. And then when you look at the people who want to go out there and build a sales force, right? I look at this quote from Zig Ziglar, you will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. And so we invite people to be a part of your sales force here at the company. You saw what they get paid, right? Remember, that was 30% that was left. Another $3,000 of that $10,000 that was left. Well, that goes to the company, right? And to the leaders, the people who are building the sales force. So in this example, let's say you have Hans here, and Hans brings me on board, and I actually do 1 deal. Well, he gets 20% of that deal, that 30% that's left, that 3,000 that's left. So that's $600 right there. Okay, when I break this all the way down. So I do 5 deals total. Guess what? That's $3,000. What did Hans do? Nothing, right? But he introduced me. He's the founder of My Feast. Let's say Carla Wynn, who's on this call as well, let's say she does 5, right? So now that's 10. And when you see, 10 installs in a 60-day period of time, guys, now you go from 20% to 30%. So now Hans is at 30%, which means that his commissions on those 10 deals is now $9,000. Okay. Now, guys, that's leverage, right? That's putting yourself in a position where now you can go out there and empower as many people as you like. Okay? Let's say Carla brings in Matthew, and Matthew does 1 deal. Now, Hans is going to get 10% of that 1 deal that Matthew does. That's $300. So he's just made $9,300. And I want to make sure you guys understand this, because people who come into companies like this, they don't make money because they can't count, right? This is math, really good math. So director, 35% overrides on your directs, 15 on your down in depth. Executive director, 40% frontline direct, 20% overrides down into infinity, right? The national director, 45% overrides, 25% team overrides, right? Down into infinity. Those last 2, I really love those, because those represent ownership, right? Those represent shares of earnings that the company actually earns, right? Because when you get to those positions, they put you in a pool with other people, and then whatever that 2% is of what the company earns, if you're in that pool, they're going to divide it up equally between you and those people, right? And you get your split. 5%, same thing. Okay? And so as you can see the numbers on the bottom, get into those positions, guys, compare them to other companies. Again, it's a lot easier for us to hit, those top positions than it is in other companies. We want you to get to the money a lot faster than others do. Okay? So you have a group of 10 people that does one install a month. 4 of those are direct to you, and then 6 of those are indirect, down in depth, $6,300 a month. Okay, you do that same. You do one sale, both sides, $7,000, $13,300 a month, guys. What, $150 a year, part time, 3 times the amount of money the person who makes 50 grand a year full time on their full time job makes. Right now, you double that effort. You go from 10 to 20, and then you still do one deal. That's 20 grand a month. That's $250,000 per year. And like Hans talked about, you look at these people who are opening up their own brick and mortar businesses, and we're over here opening up our click and order businesses. We're in the same industry. We have the same dynamics operating in both of our companies. Only difference is a person who is investing $100,000 to $250,000 in their company to get all those things that you see on that screen, right? I invested $200 to get the same things. Hans invested $200 to get the same thing. The people who invited you, guess what? They invested $200 to get the same thing. They have their own solar division, their own solar brokerage, right? Guess what? All those savings that Hans talked about when it came to Freedom Forever and the deep, the deep buying power that they actually have when they buy so much, material that they get really, really deep discounts. Guys, they pass that on to our clients, so they get lower rates, and they pass it on to the salespeople, so salespeople make more money. Okay, and so that's why a lot of us in our $200 click and order franchise, right, makes more money per deal than some people in their brick and mortar franchises. So it's about, what makes sense, right? So when you look at getting started, guys, it's real easy. Being a consultant in a company, it's kind of like being a career person. You just want to come in, you want to make sales. You really don't want to recruit, but you can if you chose to, right? You just want to come in here and make a nice 6-figure income per year or 4 or 5-figure income per month. This will be your new gig, part-time, full-time, whatever you want to do. But it's only $149 down and $49 a month. Just like if you were joining a real estate company or a mortgage company or whatever, those fees, those dues, opens up your position, gives you access to training, support, all the things you see there, and continue education, certification, all of that, right? But over on the builder side here, they're a little bit different over here. There's some more benefits for $50 more, down to $50 more a month. Right? When you look at the business builder, you have access to everything that you have as a consultant, right? But now you're coming in with the intent to go out here and make a residual income, with the intent to build a sales force, with the intent to go out here and empower people all around the world. But one of the things that's with this business builders pack that's not with the other, that's included, is the Smart Money Club. Okay, the one thing that we want you to do, guys, is make a lot of money, but we want to make sure that you don't become one of those stories, that we hear all the time. People saying, you know what, I used to be rich. I used to have this car. I used to have that house. I used to have that life. And they knew how to make the money. They just didn't know how to sustain it. They didn't know how to scale it. They didn't know how to diversify. They didn't know how to go out there and create legacy wealth. Well, guys, we want to make sure that you understand you're in a legacy company, right? That's going to create legacy lifestyles. And so you want to make sure that you don't become a statistic, one of those used to be people, right? And so all these things that we have here, they're here for you and your family to be equipped with: credit repair, building, tax planning, all this stuff that you see here that you're going to need on a personal and on the business level. Guys, this is valuable stuff. You have people who are creating high ticket sales companies with just credit repair by itself, or just tax, preparation by itself, or just establishing corporate credit by itself. And they're charging you a ton of money for it, when here you get it as an added benefit of just being a part of our business builders section. Okay. The other thing that you get with that is our membership rewards program. And so for all my foodies out there, and you like to eat everything from fast food to steaks, we have 50,000 restaurants with your name on it and a discount attached to it. Okay, 150,000 retailers for those who like to shop. And like a lot of activities to do with kids, they have a ton of activities in there that you can do with the family. Okay. And then when you look at the travelers, everything from cruises, resorts, all of that good stuff that you get a chance to take full advantage of. I myself personally have taken 2 trips and also quoted another one. Went to the Venetian in Vegas back in March, saved $28 a night for 5 nights. Went to the Hilton LAX in September, early September, guys, and guess what? Saved $31 a night, 6 nights, $186. And then my wife and I went to Cancun 2 weeks ago. Bought the ticket, bought the trip. Like at the beginning of the year, realized that when we put it up on here, we would have actually saved $317 on this trip. Okay, so these are things that come with it, but remember, there's more money involved. Remember, I talked about residual income. Well, this is what the residual income side of this thing looks like, right? This is one of the things that I focused on right away. Okay, because I understand that solar is going to be sold. I understand that water is going to be sold. I understand that security is going to be sold. And I understand that we're going to have many other things out there to sell. But the one thing that I understand more than most is residual reoccurring income. Okay, guys, my wife and I have made millions of dollars in residual reoccurring income, and I've never seen a company that will get you to residual income numbers like these as fast as you can here. That this is this is going to be a historic moment for a lot of people, okay? Because in my other companies, it took over 100 people to get to $500 a month in residual income. Here, only 20, as you can see. And guess what? You don't have to bring those 20 in. You bring one in on the left, one on the right, and those people have that membership, guys. $500 per month when they both become 10 on each side. And guess what? You're in a position, like in business with someone like Hans, and Hans is having a great week or a great month, and he's just recruiting. Or with Matthew Acosta, he's just recruiting, right? Or with Jabari Courtney, and he's just recruiting. Guys, that spill over to all those people who are a part of your sales force. When they become a part of your sales force indirectly, they still contribute to your residual income. That's why you seeing this before everybody else sees this is a win for you. Okay, you make the right decision, get yourself positioned, guys, and you'll have people pushing you and helping you get to $1,000 a month, $2,000, $4,000 a month. Imagine waking up, on the first of every month, knowing that $4,000 is coming to your bank account because you did the work, and now your mortgage is paid, and 1 or 2 of your car notes are paid just on residual income alone. And everything you make on your job full time, you can do whatever you want with it, right? So that's the type of life that we've been teaching people how to live for years. This is the first time in my life, that I've been in a company that I can get everybody to this position, not just the special people. Okay. And so I actually have a goal to get to a $250,000 a month in this one way we get paid. Okay. And keep this in mind also, for those of you who are out there sharing this with people, it matters who you share this with, because if you see on where it says build a 1,000, okay, don't want to get too technical, but we all understand what check match means, right? 20% check match means a lot. And let's say you put somebody in business, like say Ed Ayala, right? And Ed Ayala gets to $250,000 a month. Well, guess what? Whoever brought Ed Ayala in is going to get 20%. That's 50 grand a month. And I'm just saying that's that's $300,000 a year for introducing somebody to a company that in a year or 2 years they get the $250,000 a month in residuals. So that's how special this company is. That's how special the business builders package is. And I'm just telling you, that's why, again, for $200, some of you guys are going to blow $200 this weekend on a dinner and a movie, right? Somebody's going to go to the club, make it rain. Somebody's going to go to the mall and buy 2 shoes that cost $400, $500, $1,000. Okay, this $200 investment, guys, again, take that $200 investment, put it on a credit card, and get with the person that invited you, and let us show you how to get that money right back. But more importantly, let us show you how to go ahead and get your business off the ground and put you in a position where if you can follow a simple set of instructions without deviating from the plan, you could put yourself in a position where you never have to worry about money again as long as you live. So with that being said, guys, on behalf of myself, my partner and colleague, Mr. Hans Pettit, homie, we really do appreciate your time. We don't take it for granted. You could have been anywhere but here with us, but we are glad that you now can make a educated decision like we did. So see you guys at the top. See you guys at the bank. See you guys at the beach. Take care, guys. Have a great evening.
Recording